Imagine this. You're in a three-Michelin-star restaurant in New York City. You've ordered the most expensive thing on the menu. You've indulged in drinks and all of the trimmings. The bill comes out at the end of the night, and there are more zeros than you can even count. But instead of paying for the bill, you simply walk out. Then you head back to your $400 a night hotel room, a room that you haven't paid for over a month, and freshen up before you go buy some designer clothes on your credit card. A card that hasn't been repaid in months. Every day you're spending more money, seemingly without any way to pay it back. But no one bats an eye because you're the supposed heiress of German royalty and attached to a dynasty of wealth. Well, for Anna Sorokin, this was her reality. Except one tiny little detail: she wasn't an heiress, and she had no money to her name whatsoever. So, how was she able to con banks, hotel companies, restaurants, and even her closest friends so easily? And what happened when the lie eventually unravelled? This is the story of Anna Sorokin, the woman who scammed New York City for years. Now, to properly answer any of these questions, we've first got to go back to where it all began. Because Sorokin wasn't even born on US soil. She was actually raised in Moscow, born in 1991 in a working class suburb. Sorokin certainly wasn't born into wealth. Her father was a truck driver and didn't have the money for designer clothes and luxury living. However, this didn't bother Sorokin, who grew an asphyxiation for expensive things even during her childhood. At the age of 16, Anna and her family would relocate to Germany, before moving again to London and then to Paris to finish her college studies. Throughout this tumultuous period of relocating from country to country, Anna's passion for luxury only compounded, which would then motivate her to move again in 2013. This time to New York City, where she began her career as an intern for a fashion magazine called Purple. Now, interning at this company gave Anna an even greater passion for higher living and luxury. Seeing these luxurious models every day showed her that, in the Big Apple, she could truly be whoever she wanted to be. She quickly started to dream of creating her own company, a private members club for New York's ultra wealthy. The only problem was that, to create this dream club, she needed money. Lots of it. $22 million to be exact. Now, Sorokin was a determined woman, ready to do anything to secure the money that she needed. And I'm not exaggerating when I say this, as Anna went as far as to reinvent her entire backstory, renaming herself as Anna Dalvi, a German heiress of a royal family with a trust fund worth some $60 million. For all intents and purposes, this story was pretty perfect. No one could be questioned, as her rich family lived so far away. Plus, the fact that she had actually travelled to America from Germany made things genuinely believable for the ordinary outsider. With this alibi in hand, Sorokin first decided to falsify a number of documents that she used to withdraw $100,000 from the City National Bank. Money that wasn't hers legally. But as they say, possession is 9/10 of the law. And after failing to secure a loan by using the money as a down payment, Sorokin decided to splash the cash on experiencing the high life she always wanted. Almost overnight, $55,000 had been blown on hotels, designer clothes, and luxury restaurants. After a while, the rest of the money dried up, and before long, she was $9,000 in debt. Despite the alarming financial situation she found herself in, Sorokin kept tapping her card away, watching the number go deeper and deeper into the red. And with no means to pay for her luxurious lifestyle left, Sorokin quickly resorted to another tactic, refusing to pay for anything at all. She, for instance, checked into the Soho Boutique 11 Howard, one of the most expensive hotels in the city, where rooms cost upwards of $400 per night. By leaning on her story and not giving any card details, she managed to rack up a bill of about $30,000. A bill that was never paid. Even her newfound bougie friends weren't safe. When they went out to restaurants or on shopping sprees, Anna would conveniently forget her credit card, asking her friends to cover the bill with the promise that she would pay them back later. Her friends, believing she had upwards of $60 million in the bank, wouldn't think much of this. But Anna would never pay her friends back, no matter how many times they asked. Tensions with her friends peaked in 2017 when Anna asked one of her friends, Rachel Williams, to cover the expenses of a trip to Morocco, again promising that she would pay her back later. Funnily enough, Anna only asked for this favour when the group was already in Morocco, basically forcing Williams to front the bill of $60,000 with her credit card. Naturally, Williams was anxious to get her money back from Anna when the group returned to the US. But as you know by now, Anna didn't have the money. She kept making excuses. My banking app isn't working. Wire transfers have been blocked. After months of pestering, the constant excuses started to fall upon deaf ears. Williams wanted her money, and she wasn't afraid to ask the police for help. Now, before we get into just how crazy things get, if you haven't already, please pound that subscribe button. It's completely free. It'll help prevent scammers from robbing you of your entire life savings. So please, do yourself a favour, subscribe, or be scammed. Williams contacted the FBI to help her bring Anna down, and just a short while after being put on their radar, the FBI found the perfect time to strike. For Sorokin, it was just another summer's day in July 2017. She was at a fancy restaurant, and like always, when the bill came, she found herself unable to pay with her credit card. So, she told the server that her German aunt, who was on her way to the restaurant, would front the bill. As normal, she got up to leave, confident she'd just conned another unknowing business. But just as she got to the front door, sirens blared. The FBI arrested her on the spot for non-payment. Now, Sorokin was able to evade punishment this time, but just a few months later, the FBI arrested her again for another non-payment after she wrote 2 fraudulent checks to stay at a rehab facility in Malibu. Due to the severity of her actions, Sorokin was sentenced to at least 4 years of prison, with a maximum sentence of 12 years. On top of this, she was fined $24,000 and ordered to pay restitution of $199,000. Considering the amount she had conned out of the countless businesses and friends, this punishment honestly felt pretty fitting. Sorokin was eventually released in 2022, and as the time of making this video, is on house arrest. There's also an ongoing case around whether she would be deported from the US, the outcome of which is currently undetermined, with no end in sight as of yet. Ultimately, Sorokin is the perfect example of what happens when you try and fly too close to the sun. She played the game too many times. She rolled the dice more than she needed to, and eventually, the house won. However, compared to the way that Jordan Belfort lived his life, and the illegal tactics he used to make money, Anna's story is actually pretty tame. Click the link on the screen now, and I'll show you just how crazy the Wolf of Wall Street's life actually was.